right, everybody, we are here with the Ready, Set, Draw crew on Emerald Inc., and we are going to have a lot of fun because we are going to be building decks live-ish as we record, and then once we're done with these decks, we're going to post them on Lorcana.com, tweet them around the internet, so you get to hear the process that we go through when we're constructing decks, what we take, what we like to keep, what we like to get rid of, and a good conversation amongst friends and players. So if you're enjoying the show, if this is your first time, welcome. We're so glad to have you. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure to follow us on notifications with YouTube so that you see all of the crazy cool stuff that's coming out. So welcome to Jacob and Tyler from Ready, Set, Draw. How are y'all doing?
We're doing pretty good.
Always happy to be here. Doing great.
All right, so we're going to have some fun and do something new. I'm going to ask one of you what your favorite colors are in Lorcana, and we're going to build a deck. We're going to use the colors of choice. We're going to use strategy, try and figure out a skeleton, talk about strengths, weaknesses, all that good stuff, and figure out just what kind of deck we can put together with the cards available. And for those who are listening in the future, this was recorded on 7/23/23. So there's supposed to be 50-ish more cards revealed. There is going to be a Lorcana week. So by the time this episode drops, there will definitely be new cards. So disclaimer, there will definitely be adjustments and updates, but we're going to start here and move forward and evolve over time. So Tyler, let's start with you. What are your two favorite colors in Lorcana?
Oh, my two favorite colors of all time are amber and steel.
All right, why are those your favorite colors?
So first off, amber, that's pretty simple. It's got Stitch in it. It's always going to be my favorite color. Stitch is my man. He's my main dog.
Is he a dog?
Funny enough, he's a new dog. But yeah, no, Stitch is hands down, far and away, one of my favorite of all time characters in Disney. Followed closely behind by basically every character from Treasure Planet. Shout out to Emerald for finally getting John Silver.
Yay!
My man. But
dreams do come true.
Dreams do come true because I did not expect that to happen. It makes me so happy. But then Steel, at the same time, there's so much good stuff in Steel. And the bodyguard build for Amber Steel is just muy guapo.
That's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah,
so then let's build an Amber Steel deck, and let's start out with the skeleton. What is your primary strategy for this deck, and what cards are we going to incorporate to facilitate that strategy?
I think the main strategy that I would like to typically go with is probably a Bodyguards Challenger deck. So something that combines the value engine of Stitch with the 1-drops while also getting value in Bodyguards, because a lot of the newer Bodyguards like Simba are like low to the ground. They're 2-drops, so they already work really well with Stitch. And then a lot of the really good challengers are also 1 and 2 drops. So combining that with the new Captain Hook that just recently came out, I feel like there's a lot of good things.
Happy Hook?
Yeah. Thinking of happy thoughts?
I wonder if he's thinking about like just murder and pillaging.
That could be his happy place. I mean,
what are happy thoughts for Captain Hook?
Mr. Smee finally did something right.
Smee finally finished me taxes.
Yeah. He actually doubled the powder.
All right, Tyler. So let's put some cards in this deck. So we're going to be building this on Lorcana.com. And like we said, we're going to save and export these so people can find them. And if you want to play it for yourselves, that's cool. If you want to make adjustments, that's also cool. We're just going to have a lot of fun and use a really helpful tool to kind of throw together a fun deck. And then let's evolve it from there. So we're going to have to put in the Stitch new dog, obviously.
Oh, for sure.
So put 4 of those in. And then we've also got 4 of Rockstar. Do you play Carefree Surfer in your version?
That's a really, really high-end card.
I don't think you have a current build of this deck with all the new reveals.
Dun, dun, dun. We're about to fix that problem. Would you like Carefree Surfer in your deck? Remember, we can always So we're kind of in that blue sky phase. We can put in everything you want and then trim the fat down later.
For sure.
That's the best way to do it, in my opinion.
There's not really a no. It's more of a, do you want it? Like, maybe.
Yeah, I think. Okay, so hold on. Let me. So I'm actually currently on Lorcania.com. So let me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to shift some of the colors here, ink colors.
So I've got everything sorted by cost. That's how my brain works.
Okay, that's actually probably a good way of doing it.
Because I'm all about building onto cost curve. So I want to know, like, hey, where is this in the curve?
Yeah. So okay. So definitely 4 Stitch.
So we got Baby Stitch, Rockstar Stitch. So we got 8 out of 60.
Yes. Okay. Then 4 Captain Hook Forceful Duelist, 4 Eric, 4 Simba, 4 Protective Cub. I think the combination between him and Future King might actually be a good combination.
Do you want 4 of both of them?
Yeah, 4 both.
It's getting aggressive.
Well, I mean, you want that that
you
digger.
Gotta have it. I agree.
If you're going to build a combo list, you need the pieces of that combo.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what else are we putting in here, Tyler?
4 Be Our Guest, 3 Tinkerbell.
Baby Bell?
Oh.
Yeah, Baby Bell and 3 of the big one.
Tinker Bomb? Okay.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Baby Tink and Tinker Bomb.
Baby Bell cheese, Baby Bell.
3 Hercules.
All right, 3 Jercules. Got them.
Hercules. 4 Musketeer Tabard, because it's a really good card.
Oh,
that's
spicy. Okay.
3 Rapunzel. 3 Maximus.
The bodyguard, right?
Yes.
Okay, got him. The 5 drop.
Really good. 4 Goofy. 2 Captain Hook. Thinking a Happy Thought.
I don't know if I want to know what that happy thought is, but we're not going there. Okay, what else? What else we want here?
So 4 Rockstar and 4 Mickey Mouse Musketeer.
All right, so let's look at the deck. We have 57.
Left, I think
57.
Oh wait.
So I've got 4 Captain Hook Forceful Duelist, the 1 drop. 4 Stitch Rockstar, the 6 drop. 3 Tinkerbell, the Baby Bell, Tiny Tactician. 4 of Stitch New Dog, the 1 drop. 3 of Jercules, the True Hero with Bodyguard. 4 of Prince Eric with Challenger 2. 4 of Mickey Mouse, the Musketeer. Wish they would have called them Mouseketeers, but that's not here or there. Goofy, the Mouseketeer at 5 drop. Simba, Future King, 4 of, so he's the one who digs. 3 of Tinker Bomb, the 6 drop. 4 of Simba, Protective Cub, the Bodyguard. 3 Rapunzel, the healer who draws. 3 of Maximus, the bodyguard support monster. And then 2 Captain Hook, thinking about mauling Peter Pan. 4 Be Our Guest, 4 Musketeer Tabard. So we're at 57 right now.
Okay. Could I suggest something to Tyler?
Sure.
Yeah. This is open-ended.
Okay. I would suggest that because you're running such an aggressive deck, I know that you have Stitch Rockstar to dig. I would think that given you have 3 slots, you could probably bump or you could probably add 3 of like a 1 or 2 drop that's still left. Like you have 6 uninkable cards, so you definitely have room for more uninkables if you want. So you could throw in like Lilo making a wish, or you could throw in to sit behind a bodyguard.
I think 3 Lilo is probably a good choice.
Okay.
That'd fill it out.
So we're at 60 cards. Let's pull up metrics and graphs and talk about your cost curve here. So at 1 drop, you have 15 cards. At 2 drop, you have 12. At 3 drop, you have 6. And they're all in steel. Let's find out what those are. So it's Baby Bell, Tink, and then Hercules, True Hero. Then the curve goes up. At 4 drops, you have 7. At 5 drops, you have 9. And at 6 drops, you have 11. So turn 3 is one of your weaker points, and it has one of your most important cards for the shift combo with Tinkerbell into Tinker Bomb. Are you feeling okay with that? Does that sound pretty good to you?
Let me look at the 3 drops real quick.
Something that could help with that a little bit is he does have Be Our Guest and plenty of 2 drops that he could reliably sing with on turn 3 to dig for the Tinkerbell.
Yeah, I don't think getting into the 6 drop Tinker Bomb is the problem. It's just your cost curve goes from 15, 12 to 6. It literally cuts in half on turn 3. So you're in a weird place where if you don't mulligan into a 3-drop, you kind of are in an awkward place where you might not get a 3-drop.
Yeah, you have to like double spell, or you have to play something suboptimal for the turn.
Yeah. But then it goes back up, like 4, 5, and 6 kind of ramp up. But it's just one of those things to look at and consider. Like if it's not relevant to the strategy, that's fine. It's just something I'm looking at going, like 3 Hercules, 3 Tinker Baby Bells. I feel like you probably want that 4th Baby Bells, because if you're running Tinker Bomb, well, you guys have played Pokemon, or you played Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Like you definitely want that. You want more of the baby if you're evolving, so that you have a higher chance to see the original target.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's 3 Tinker Bomb.
I think you need 4 Tiny Tacticians, in my opinion.
I don't think that you're wrong. So.
Okay. So we'll bump that up. So we're at 61 cards. No big deal, because we're still going to make some adjustments. I like the game plan here. Thought no grab your S word.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, you do have
it.
7
also,
or 9 things.
Whole New World.
Why is okay? There's your grab your sword.
I would drop Tabard for Whole New World, in my opinion.
Drop a Tabard for a Whole New World? Or
no, I would drop the 4 Tabards for 4, because like Tabard is relevant. So it says whenever one of your characters with Bodyguard is banished, you may draw a card. So you have to find 8 out of 60 cards, and then you have to find one of those Tabards. I feel like this is going to get a lot better when we have Donald, because you'll have 12
critical mass.
There's probably going to be like a minimum of 12 Musketeers. I think there's going to be 16 targets for this card.
Captain Pete.
Yeah, Pete could have that keyword. I think there's going to be lower cost characters. Like I think there's going to be potentially like a lower cost Mickey, a lower cost Goofy, higher cost Donald. So there'll be like high end, low end versions. So theoretically like 6, 2 of each copy.
Yeah,
which makes Tabard really, really good. But right now with only 8 copies, I think that New World is the better draw spell personally, especially if you want to be aggressive and like flood the board with Stitch.
It doesn't just see Musketeers; it sees the Bodyguard mechanic.
That's true. So we're adding in Simba and Maximus. So you would have 16 targets.
So it's 16 targets, and they stack. So having multiple Tabards on the battlefield at once, I mean, banishing.
I don't know with a Stitch build though. I don't know if you would be able to get
That's my
Tabards out.
Yeah, I think because you're playing an aggressive list, you want an aggressive draw spell.
Okay, so no Tabard.
If you're not running Tabard too, I think maybe you could shed like a few Bodyguards and make up for the.
I think Maximus is actually still really good.
Oh yeah,
I think you drop
for
Mickey.
Sure.
Yeah, well. When you play
that's the fun of it. It's a tricky conversation. There's no right or wrong answer. It's like, pondering.
Well, how many Whole New Worlds though? Because that is uninkable. So something to consider.
Well, that's the question. How aggressive are you wanting to be? If you're really aggressive, you take 4. If you just want to refresh your hand so you can pop down a bunch of little bodies with Stitch, Rockstar, like 2.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think 2 is probably the right number.
Okay, so we'll drop Tabard completely. We'll put 2 Whole New World in.
And then 2 grab your sword?
We'll put 2 grab your sword in. So now you're at 61 still.
Okay, so 1 card needs to go.
Maybe we haven't taken out Mickey Mouse yet. Did you want to keep him? Or we could put him at 3.
Is he at 4?
He's at 4 right now.
I think 3 might be an okay number. Because he's not he's great when you see him, but only when you see him late game.
You usually end up inking him early.
You know what? Take out 1 Mickey Mouse.
We're at 60.
But he's at 3 right now, correct?
Correct. 3 Mickey Musketeer.
So take out 1 more, leave him at 2, and then put in a Stitch Carefree Surfer.
Ooh, that's a spicy tech.
Okay.
All right. So let's go back to our metrics. 1 drops are still at 15. 2 drops are at 12. So if you have Stitch Rockstar, you have, what is that? 15 27 targets. Your 3 drops are at 7, so you've got a little bit more than we had prior. Your 4 drops, however, there are only 3. That curve just tanked out, and it's just Rapunzel. However, I will say you can also shift. You can shift with Rockstar, so technically you have 8 targets on turn 4. Realistically, you want to shift into Rockstar. That's your main target.
Yeah. So you're
And
mulliganing
then
hard for that.
you're gonna have to mulligan hard for this strategy. Your 5 drops you have 13, and then 6 drops you have 9, and then 7 drops 1. Just the Carefree Surfer.
Which is okay, because he's kind of there as just like
Last
backup.
minute refill.
All right.
I like it.
What are the weaknesses of this deck y'all feel here?
Grab Your Swords is going to wipe it pretty hard. Opposing Tinkerbells is tough. I feel like A Whole New World does a lot of really good work in the deck because it is going to guarantee that you have a refill. You're not really mad if someone A Whole New World's you because you're going to get refilled. So you're glad to see it either way. It doesn't have much removal beyond challenging. So anything that's evasive is going to be really tricky because it's not running any like Fire the Cannons or recursion for that. It's not running any smash. So it is a little tricky on the removal side of things, in my opinion.
I have a postulation for the room. We're going to have to talk about this. If you play Frying Pan on Baby Bell, can it challenge after it shifts?
No.
Because it says chosen character cannot challenge during their next turn. And
turn.
If I remember correctly, if you shift, like if you had Reckless prior, you maintain the original state.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Everything I know about the game should conclude that any effect like that on a character stays.
So how do you feel about putting some Frying Pans in to counter the Tinkerbell?
I don't think it's a bad idea.
I don't know. I feel like putting that in for just the niche scenario might be a little hard for like a main deck situation. I was more thinking like the evasives and some of the, I don't know, keeping up if you don't see your Whole New World or Stitch could be tough, but mainly evasives would be my biggest concern.
It's also a good answer to Mulan and Aladdin because we're going to see them in meta.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. I agree with that notion.
This would be the first time I've ever put Frying Pan in a deck. I mean, it's not my deck, it's Tyler's, but still, it'd be the first time.
Oh, well, I'm just postulating because there are some really hardline counters or bad scenarios where you quest out or you do the Stitch Rockstar thing where you play Exert, draw, play Exert, and then you have this giant board and your opponent has maybe, Pocket Watch online or maybe an Aladdin, and then on their turn they shift up and go, cool, Aladdin, Fan the Flames, Aladdin again. You're like, uh-oh, I'm down 4 lore and they're up 4 lore and I'm down 2 bodies. That's not good. Or again, Tinkerbomb, she plays the AoE, then she challenges, then she does 2 more damage, and it's just like, yep, there's half my board gone. Ew.
I could see Frying Pan. I wouldn't play 4.
No, I'm thinking like 2 or 3. It's just like very fracture hairline problems, but the problems that will actually lose you the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a tech card. It's a very much a tech card.
So how I gotta know, Tyler, how in love with you or how in love with Captain Hook thinking Happy Thought are you? Because that is, is he who you think of when you think of Happy Thought? Like, because I don't know about that one. It's your preference. It was one of the first cards you said, so obviously you have some kind of connection.
Well, so he's just he's a really good challenger body. Mm-hmm. And the fact that characters with 3 cost or less can't challenge this character, that just felt really good. And part of the reason why that felt good is that a lot of the like decent challengers happen to be things like Captain Hook, Forceful Duelist, and Prince Eric.
Jafar is this guy's worst enemy, pretty much.
Yeah, Jafar is the one who cuts 100% hard.
Gaston can't, which is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just things like that where I was like, you know what? This as a challenger is actually really, really solid.
It is. Plus, you can get him out turn 3. I don't disagree here.
All right. So what are you thinking then, Tyler, as far as the leftovers? If you had to cut 2 cards to fit in a Frying Pan, you're putting in contingency cards. So you don't want to cut. The problem
I'm having is actually putting stuff together on Lorcania.com. That's what I'm struggling with. I've trying to put it together at the same time that you guys were.
Yeah.
And it was not.
This episode is sponsored by Cox Internet. Get your Cox Internet today. Get your 100-bit down for only 100,000 pesos. I have a proposition you're probably not going to like, but hear me out on this. You could drop Rapunzel because you don't have too many big bot. I mean, like you have Maximus, you have Goofy, but she's kind of in there as like another tech to heal things.
Right.
But if you're drawing cards off of New World, like you're gonna draw so much more off of that than Rapunzel.
Mm-hmm.
You could like drop her to 1, so that way you can get like some really good draw off of her. I don't know. I think Rapunzel's great. I just don't know if she's great here, because when I look at Rapunzel, it's like, man, she's really good with steel if you're running like Maui and Kronk and all these gigantic bodies like Cerberus. Yeah.
Big body craziness.
Yeah, but a lot of your things are small enough where they could get like 2-shot, or you can get crashed. Someone crashes in with like a 3 attack and then pops you off with Fire the Cannons or Smash. So you're not so incredibly big that you're going to survive. You're very much like 2 card combos away from getting dropped.
So
minus
how
Mickey.
many is Rapunzel at right now?
Rapunzel's at 3. I was going to say, what if you put her to 1? So you have her and you can use her when you need her. Because if you see her on turn 4, you don't want to play her on turn 4.
Yeah.
You're probably not. You're not going to see any healing until maybe like turn 5 or 6.
At 1 and Musketeer Tabard at 2, where you're getting the light card draw from the fact that you're already.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, I could see that. We're getting some sustained card draw and then some burst card draw. Yeah. I see you. We're still 2 cards over. I mean, we could drop Frying Pan. You don't need it.
I'm trying to think what could be dropped lower for Frying Pan.
So I have a warning. We're getting to the point where a lot of the deck is like almost half tech cards. So you have like 3 of Hercules, 2 of Mickey Mouse, 1 of Carefree Surfer, 3 of Tinkerbomb, 3 of Lilo Making a Wish, 1 Rapunzel, 3 Maximus, 2 Captain Hooks, 2 Grab Your Sword, 2 Whole New World, 2 Musketeer Tabards. So you don't want to spread yourself so thin with tech cards that you have 0 consistency.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think we're over the edge personally. I think we need to drop some cards and then go up the consistency route.
Okay, 1 second.
So I have a thought here. What if we go all the way in on the Musketeer Tabard, drop Rapunzel, and play Hakuna Matata? So you can keep all of your bodyguards healthy for a longer time. And then if they do get dropped by, like, man, if you get hit, with Be Prepared, it's like, oh, well, I guess 4 of my bodyguards die and I draw 4 cards. Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of the mentality that I was going with to begin with, is just like lots of card draw just because I have a lot of things guarding the things that matter.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, so then let's take Rapunzel out completely.
Okay.
Let's push Hercules up to 4, so you have consistency. Let's push Mickey Mouse up to 4, and then Maximus up to 4. So all of your bodyguards are at 4. So you've got Lion King Cub, you've got Hercules, Goofy, Mickey, Maximus. So you have 20 bodyguards.
Mm-hmm.
That is bodyguard forward.
Bodyguard heavy.
Got to be guarding something.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
All right. So we're currently at 63. Do you want to keep that one copy of Carefree Surfer in the list?
No, we could probably take it out at this point.
Okay. We're still 2 cards up.
What did we have a Whole New World at?
2.
Had it at 2? Okay.
We've got Be Our Guest at 4, Grab Your Sword at 2, Whole New World at 2.
That's what it was.
Musketeer Tabard at 2. I keep looking at that Captain Hook. I'm like,
You and me both.
Yeah.
It's okay, though. I would like to make one suggestion for what your bodyguards want to protect. The Stitch situation is the only thing that I think kind of is a argument against this. But my personal number one favorite thing to put behind bodyguards right now is Han's 13th in line. He quests and he pings. He quests and he pings.
Yeah, that's not a bad 4-drop either.
And I think you don't have you have barely any 4-drops. I think
you also
have Musketeer Tabard.
Yeah, you have Musketeer Tabard. I was going to also recommend, if you're into challenging, Prince Philip is a really good Death Touch character if you crash him right.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, you have a giant Maui? Cool. I have a 3/3. Wait, no.
So what's the critical mass we're looking at? Because the core of this deck started with a Stitch. That was the first thing.
Yeah, it's starting to evolve into a bodyguard draw deck, which I think is really good. I think we have 2 engines, and one of them has to go.
Yeah,
I think, Tyler, the flavor is the Stitch. That's what you love the most. That's the thing.
Stitch, Tinkerbell's a 3. Other Stitches. Okay, hold on. Okay, so there's quite a few. Okay, so what's my 1 and 2 drops right now?
You have 4 Captain Hook, Forceful
Let's
Duelist.
pull it up. You've got 15 1-drops, 12
that's
2-drops. So again, you have 27.
Okay, I see that. Okay, oh boy, that's a lot. Okay,
Yeah, it's an interesting proposition because one half of the deck is Stitch Rockstar Turbo, and the other is Bodyguard Bully, where you're just like, here's my bodyguards, deal with it. Also, there's a bunch of little things behind there, haha, lol. And then if anything that has bodyguard dies, you draw cards. You have Whole New World, draw cards, grab your sword, your little small things are dead. You got Tinker Bomb, who kind of helps facilitate AoE board wipes.
Yeah.
So they're both good engines. They're great.
The thought process here that I see a lot of deck builders go through has been shown here, and it's you have an idea, you stick with the idea, and then you go through the Peter Griffin, ooh, piece of candy, thought process, and eventually you realize that your plate is full of candy, and then you forgot that you were actually trying to cook dinner. And then, you basically made a deck of tangents, and it morphed into something that's like a coverall. And we've refined it a little bit because we've cut down on like the 3/4s, 2/4s and stuff like that, and kind of built consistency. But as far as like committing to a core of a deck, I think you got to choose what you want your main focus to be, Tyler. If it's going to be aggro rush or more
wall stall,
musketeer,
baby.
Yeah, wall stall, because both are great. I think a blend of the two is going to leave you underwhelmed.
This is like a jalapeno cherry limeade smoothie.
This is what I've got. Okay.
Okay.
So I did go ahead and put the deck together on my end. So it's 4 Stitch Rockstar, 4 Tinkerbell Tiny Tactician, 4 Stitch New Dog, 4 Hercules, 4 Mickey Mouse Musketeer, 4 Goofy, 4 Simba Future King, 4 Tinker Bomb, 4 Simba Protective Cub, 4 Lilo Making a Wish, and 4 Maximus. And then
by Captain Hook.
Yeah, I took out
that's
Captain
Forceful
Hook.
Duelist is gone. Prince Eric is gone.
Okay. And then 4 Be Our Guest, 4 Grab Your Sword, 2 A Whole New World, and 2 Hakuna Matata with 4 Musketeer Tabard.
Okay. So the Hakuna Matata is going to come into play.
So we've actually kind of found a middle ground for the two. Interesting. Let's look at the graphs. All right, your cost curve looks like this. 1-drops are at 12. 2-drops are at 8. 3-drops are at 8. 4-drops are at 6. 5-drops spike up to 14. 6-drops at 12. So it's a little bit more rounded, a lot less mountainy. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Still got 20 targets for Stitch.
It could work. Yeah, there's 20 like a third of the deck can hit off of Stitch.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 Whole New Worlds. I think 4 Musketeer Tabards is a little. I would do a 3 Tabard, 3 New World personally. That's just me.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I think that would be good.
Because the problem is the moment you see Tabard number 3, you're just kind of like curse word. You really don't want to see Tabard number 3, and you really don't want to see Tabard number 4. You do
want to see Whole New World number 1.
You want to see Whole New World number 1. You really want to see Whole New World number 2.
Okay. I'm down for that. Tyler, are you down for that?
Ooh.
Yeah.
This deck looks awful.
In a good way, right?
Ooh. Okay. All right. So we've got the All right, so let's go back to the question we always ask before we print it. Weaknesses. What's your weak spot here? How many non-inkables?
Evasives.
How many non-inkables do? Hold on. Let's count.
14.
3. Oh,
on the metrics and graphs at the bottom, there's 14.
Oh, thank you, Artem. I love you so much. Okay, 14 out of 46. Yeah, that's fine. That's not even 25%. That's totally cool.
Yeah, that would be on the higher end from what I would prefer, but I'm definitely down for testing purposes. I always say like try whatever your gut tells you and just test.
Yeah.
And if you find your games being inconsistent with ink count, well, that's what data is, and that's the scientific process. So reevaluate.
Yeah, back off, ma'am. I'm a scientist. Okay, so evasives. Do explain, Jacob. Why do you think evasives are a problem here?
Yeah, so The only saving grace against evasives would be a double grab your sword or a Tinker Bomb scenario. So most of your early game is going to be spent developing more often your heavy concentration of low drops, hopefully getting into a Stitch Rockstar. If you spend any of your time developing a Tinkerbell, you're probably behind on what you were wanting to do with Stitch. So it's kind of like an either or. Tinkerbell helps with evasive, so maybe if you know you're playing against evasives, you can mulligan heavier for that rather than a Stitch. But overall, early evasives like Pan and Pongo are going to put a lot of pressure on you to find Grab Your Sword or to find Tinker Bomb to get the solution, because I don't think with this deck with a high bodyguard count, you're not really getting a high lore count. So evasives are going to put a clock on this deck pretty quickly. Then it's going to put a lot of pressure to find those answers. Now you have Stitch, so you probably will find them, but I worry that like a well-timed Genie returning a Tinker Bomb to hand or something like that could actually make things a little hairy. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think it's good that you have two engines here, because you can do, based on your matchup, you can try to go wide with the Rockstar engine, or if they have a bunch of like challengers, like you fight a aggressive like challenge deck, then you can use your bodyguard to help sustain your board.
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna really have to mulligan well, because if you mulligan too hard in one direction, it's gonna be like, oh God. I think you really honestly want to try and keep a whole new world in your hand as often as possible. So if you miss mulligan, you always have the opportunity to just dump and redraw and get into the opposite engine that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, I agree with that.
Simba Future King does help you dig for the right things too. I will say that for the deck too.
Yeah, if you have some diggers, so you have Future King, you do have Tiny Tactician is still good if you don't have Tinker Bomb, because you could use her ability to dig and potentially soak up a removal spell. If your opponent doesn't know that you don't have the Tinker Bomb, you could still play her and hope to suck up like a smash and maybe like a spell that does 1 damage, because I'm pretty confident we're going to see more of that somewhere. So you have the tools to ditch the cards you don't want, to dig for the cards you do. And you also have Be Our Guest. You have an interesting combo of like, not necessarily tutoring, but between Tinkerbell, Babybel, and Simba, you can loot. Be Our Guest lets you dig, and then Whole New World just refreshes the whole thing.
Yeah, I think the mirror match would be very interesting against like another Musketeer deck, because you have no item removal.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
I think the person who plays Whole New World first has the advantage in a mirror match.
The person who plays Whole New World and can develop first, because if he had to pay 5 for it and the other person gets a free refill,
you have to sing it. You have to alternate cast it.
Yeah,
you can't hard cast this in the mirror match. That would be a death knell.
I think this looks solid.
But your bodyguards can do it. That's the best part, is you can like tap out a Maximus, and like, who cares? You want him tapped.
Yeah.
So you've got a 4/5 bodyguard who just sang 7 new cards into your hand.
That's the beautiful thing, is all the songs in this deck, you have, if you count your 6 drops as well, you have a total of 27 targets that could sing any of your songs.
Yeah. Because you got Mickey Mouse, Goofy, Tinker Bomb, Maximus, even Stitch Rockstar could do it. Especially if he's hiding behind like 6 bodyguards. They're never going to get him. He's safe. You probably your prime target is probably Maximus, because his lore is some of the worst.
Yeah,
him or Goof. Anything with the 1 lore is like, hey, sing the song for me, homie, and they're like, yeah.
I think this is a pretty versatile deck overall. I would just say that like in a best of 3 scenario, if that's how it works, I would say that your game 1 is going to be kind of like being the batter, like letting the first pitch go. Just to see what they're doing.
Yeah.
You have a lot of your first game, you'd have to really read what deck you're playing against, and then game 2 and 3 is where you can push the gas.
Just really ask them what colors they're playing, and maybe they'll tell you. You're like, okay, cool.
Never tell them, folks. Never tell them.
Just tell them you're playing Demir blue black. They're like, what?
Just say the bad ones, and then they get psychologically
bad ones.
Up.
Get out of here.
No, I'm just saying like, say the words like, oh, the bad ones.
The bad.
That way they think they're going to have an easy win, and they go easy on you, and you just.
I'm playing Pikachu and Charizard. That's my deck. All right, so we like the deck. We've kind of talked about what it does, what it doesn't do, bad matchups. Now, the most important part, we got to name it.
Yes.
We have to name the deck.
Okay.
We got to put a ring on the finger.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I
I'm
think
be
this might
brewing.
actually be easy. It's a 2-style deck. So, and 2 for T.
Oh, well, there you go.
2 for me.
There we go. We have built the deck. It is on Lorcania.com. Bam. You can find it right now at the time of your listening. Or if you follow the LorcanaCast group on Lorcania. All right, so 1 deck down. Congratulations. We did well. Tyler, I really like this deck. I don't want to play against it, actually. Actually, you do have a really bad hit if you get struck with a Wrath of God. That would hurt.
Oh my gosh.
But I think it hurts you more than most. Yeah. Well, so because you have such big bodies that give you such value.
Hey man, I know a good answer for that is you have a whole new world. It actually is one of the best refreshes in the game. So you could, if you know you're playing against Ruby and they're playing ramp, just kind of like hold it, or use it immediately. Off chance they get rid of Be Prepared, they discard it. You never know.
It's true. Very true. All right, so let's clear this up and let's move on to Jacob. What are your 2 favorite colors in the Lorcana ecosystem?
First off, give me that Ruby. 100%.
All right, we got Ruby. Boink.
Second off, give me that Emerald.
Got the Emerald. Boink.
I want to ask big questions and I want to give great answers. That's what I want to do.
All right, so what is your style of deck when you're using the Emerald Ruby combo?
Well, sometimes I like to go for ramp, but no. Sometimes I like to go for ramp, but in a Ruby Emerald, I would like to go for an evasive strategy. Okay. But along with that evasive strategy, I would really want to focus on tempo. So just playing things on curve, getting good value out of playing them immediately, making sure I have things that can respond to single problems, and then some contingency plans as like a very niche part of the deck.
You know what helps
mostly an evasive strategy.
Dating.
Okay.
All right, everybody, send your angry emails to ReadySetDraw@gmail.com.
At Yahoo.
Oh, Yahoo. Oh, no, I'm sorry. AOL.com. We couldn't afford Yahoo. Too pricey.
So that's not our email. I just don't actually want the emails.
Yeah, don't tell nobody.
Yeah.
What is your skeleton? What do you start with here, Jacob?
So my skeleton I always build with pet cards in mind first. That I know want like they should be in the deck. And the number 1 pet card for this strategy would be Genie. So I would top out on 4 Genie immediately. And then also my other favorite evasive
Stonks Genie 100% buy now.
I would also put Pongo in there.
Love it.
At 4.
Another great character.
And then the other evasive that I would definitely make room for, but I don't want to like max out on or anything. I love the top end game closer of Mickey BLT.
How many?
So 2. Just put 2.
You know what? I haven't had dinner yet, and I really want bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich now. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Man, what a friend! Just making me hungry on the clock. Cool. Thanks.
So I would say Mickey at 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock. Mickey at
you can get your BLTs at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time.
So at the 8 spot, I think Mickey at 2 should be the cap of the deck, and then I can fill that as my like representing the top end and fill everything from beneath. So if sorted by cost, then I can just look at everything before Mickey, which is all but 2 cards. But
yeah, I like the way you think. That's a pretty cool idea. I'm down. So then we've got the skeleton. How are we going to fill in those joints, bones, and muscles?
Okay. So the other thought process I go through with decks, especially when using the brilliance of Lorcania, is I like to just go through the entire color set and just add 1 of every card that I like for the strategy, and then I can fill up to 60. So I would say
that's new. Okay, that's a cool way to do it.
So like, because I want to see them on the list, and then I can fill up the numbers afterwards and tinker.
I'm feeling you there, man.
I know with Fan the Flames, it's not as strong with evasives, but for some of the other Ruby options, it's incredible.
Okay, like
with Mulan. So I know I want Fan the Flames. I'm brave enough. I'm going to throw 4 in immediately, and then
stonks.
Yeah. Exactly.
Smash it to 4.
I'm not too sure on any of the other 1-drops right now. I can come back to those later.
Wow, hater.
I would say I'm not a hater. I'm just
saying Minnie. Just walking on that tightrope. Sorry, girl.
I would say for a deck like this at the 2-drop slot, because there's currently no 2-drop evasive, I would just look for something that I feel can stick. the best sticker in Emerald is Aladdin Prince Ali.
How many
So
would you keep?
I would probably do... because I have Street Rat as an option now too. I don't want to put more base Aladdins than Heroic Outlaws. So let's stick with 2 Prince Ali.
Okay.
And then we'll go ahead and jump up to Aladdin Street Rat, add 2 of him as well.
Got it.
And then after that, I know that I like Mother Knows Best. I know that I
How
like...
many?
Let's just do... let's stick with 2 for now.
Alrighty.
It's an uninkable, so I got to be careful.
No, go all out. I need someone to show up to a tournament with an entire deck of non-inkable cards.
Your question about that on our recent podcast had me really thinking, so I appreciate that. We answered it on the show, but yeah, it released today, so go check it out.
Where should people find it?
On YouTube and Spotify.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. Then now we got to get to the meat of the evasives. We're going to skip through real quick and just get all the evasives that I love. So Peter Pan, 4 of. Pongo, of course, 4 of. Let's see. Tigger, 4 of.
All right.
Goofy,
but he's the only one.
4 of.
Yeah, he should have had a special ability. You can only have one Tigger. Yeah. He's a legendary.
And just overstat him or something. Yeah.
He's an 18 for 6 with 500 lore, but he can't quest. He's got reckless. You're like, wait, what? Why? Just to spite you.
I know with this deck too, I also definitely want to keep the 4 Aladdin Heroic Outlaws. They're just great for clearing and getting lore value out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then filling in the other stuff. Here's the deal. I don't like to build... I don't know. I feel like whenever I add as many uninkables as I want from the start and then I have to cut them, I get really sad. And I don't want to feel sad when I'm deck building. So I like to look at the uninkable count while I'm building to know where I'm at. And right now I already have 6.
Yeah.
So that's 6 with 2 Mother Knows Best and 4 Genie.
What is your limit, like your personal limit for uninkables?
I like to stick to 12.
Okay.
Especially for a tempo deck like this, it's going to have a decent spread. I like to stick to 12. I could go up to 14 if it was really worth it. And it just so happens that Emerald has a lot of cards that are worth it.
If you look at the cost curve, it looks like they're doing the rock on sign with the pinky and pointer finger.
Yeah.
At true. The 3 and 6 drop.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and go to the fill in here. We're going to find the 4 spot. We got to find some stuff that's actually going to fit in the 4 and 5.
You also need some 1-drops here.
Oh, yes, definitely. We're only at 36 cards, though, so we're good with that. Okay. I'd say Sergeant Tibbs. It's really that or Duke of Wesselton, but I'm not throwing in both. So 4 Sergeant Tibbs, and then, I don't know if I want to just completely get wiped to a Grab Your Swords. Let's do a 2 Minnie Mouse, and I'll call it there. And then let's go to the 2 drops. I have Aladdin and nothing else, right?
Correct.
So let's put in, I'm not looking to, Meg with a turn 1 follow-up's not what I'm building for.
Genie and Donald are looking kind of nice.
Genie and Donald do look pretty nice. I'm a fan of Genie more so than Donald.
Sorry, Duck.
So let's go ahead and, sorry, Duck. We're going to go ahead and throw in the Genie. Let's go ahead and add 4.
I mean, Duck tastes delicious. He's a ghost. I don't know how he tastes.
No, sir. He's a genie. That's the whole point.
Are genies ghosts?
No, they're not.
Is a hot dog a taco?
Since when do you watch Link Reigns?
Anyways, moving along. How many genies, baby genies, do you want?
Let's do a 4.
Okay.
Genie at the Ever Impressive.
46 out of 60 cards here.
Yes. So we're sticking with 14 left. I know with Fan the Flames, I definitely want more synergy with Mulan. I think Mulan is excellent with evasives too because they stick.
Okay. How many do you want?
Let's throw in 4 Mulan.
Okay. Very, very spicy. Got it.
And then let's see. I'm thinking with my curve, I need some 4 drops for sure. Ooh, I love the idea of if they're going to use hard removal on my evasives because they have to, that means they can't use it on my Hans.
Hans.
Scheming Prince.
You want your Wiener Schnitzel?
Yeah, so we're going to go 4 Hans, Scheming Prince.
He is so hilariously costed. He's like right in that annoying zone of, hey man, I'm going to need you to back off.
Yeah.
No.
That's pretty much what I want this deck to do. as a whole, like kind of sticking to the thesis statement here, I want the deck to be good at like putting a threat down and saying deal with it and asking that over and over and over again. So
how you feeling about Dragonfire and Be Prepared? Some removal.
Yeah, so Dragonfire is going to be a necessity because this deck doesn't really have much removal. I'm not wanting to use removal as my like game plan. I'm kind of wanting them to worry about the ones with removal, but sometimes you got to deal with a Stitch, you know?
You need answers for like Stitch, Tinkerbomb,
Yeah.
the mirror match.
Yeah. So let's go with 3 Dragonfire.
Copy that, Gold Leader.
And then let's
3 cards left.
Let's do. Oh man, John Silver looks so nice.
He looks like a pirate to me.
Be Prepared is scary to me.
That guy has.
He's got more keywords than I've got fingers.
Well, the thing is, with Be Prepared, I know you mentioned it a second ago. A board wipe in this deck, it would only be good in a scenario where I'm like way behind, and I like to think of like best case scenario, worst case scenario. Best case scenario, I don't have to use it because I'm the one trying to establish board presence. Worst case scenario, I absolutely need to because they've outrushed me. So I could shift and play it on 5 with Aladdin Heroic Outlaw.
So here's the fun thing. You don't always need Be Prepared. A lot of people I know are like, Wrath of God, put it in. Like absolute stonk hitter, like 4 of. It's a great card. Absolutely necessary in the meta, in the game state.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily need to be in your deck, depending on what you want, or maybe like a 1 or 2 of, just in case there's like a snowball and you just can't get online, or your opponent hits the nuts with like a Rockstar Stitch and they just play like 10 cards, and if you don't play Be Prepared, you automatically lose. But I don't know if you need too many of this in your deck.
I don't want to rely on that. So, and if I'm not playing like 3, I'm not playing any.
Yeah, this is more of an uh-oh button than a some decks want to be aggressive and have just tons of removal, and then by the time the opponent runs out of gas, you just like take control of the game.
Yeah,
that is not this deck.
I'm looking at the last 3 slots I have, and I'm trying to decide between Cusco and John Silver.
Rapunzel.
I don't want Rapunzel in this deck. I already have the Street Rat for that.
What
effect
a hater.
Earlier. I am a hater of Rapunzel. I don't like that card.
Well, okay. So the 2 propositional questions are: A, do you want a 5-drop that's not inkable, where you already have 11 5-drops? Or do you want a 6-drop that is inkable and you only have 8 6-drops?
Well,
Cusco has Ward and 3 lore, and
he has the Cheshire effect.
Yeah, he's got a lot going for him, but he's uninkable, so he would put you up to 14 if you took, or 13 if you took 4 of them, which is still right around that range, like 12, 13, no big deal. Well, actually, no, you'd only take 3, so it'd put you at 12, so it'd be right where you want to be.
You know, I think for my personal taste, I would lean towards Cusco just because I'm not looking to get heavy on the top end. Like, I would definitely be wanting to play stuff other than, ideally, I'm playing Genie on 6. That's my ideal play. I would rather bounce something that's going to be threatening me than give it Reckless, because typically if I'm playing evasives, I can't always guarantee they'll have something to challenge anyways. So I would just be, John Silver's really good. Oh gosh, this is hard.
Well,
I'm going to go
big. We're at 60.
Yeah. Wait, how did you get to 60? I was at 57.
We threw 3 Cusco in.
Oh, that brilliant. Cause that's what I was going to do. All right. I like this list, but now I got to think through the weaknesses.
All right, so let's take a look here. We're going to recap the list. So we have 4 Mulan Imperial Soldier. So when she banishes another character in a challenge, the rest of your other characters, not Mulan, get +1 lore. So that's pretty good. 2 green Aladdin Prince Ali with Ward. So he's really just there to set up a shift into Big Boy Aladdin. 2 Mickey Mouse Brave Little Tailor. So if you get to turn 8, he is a win con. 4 of Tigger with Evasive, 4 of Goofy with Evasive, 4 of Aladdin Heroic Outlaw. So when he can shift on turn 5, he's a 5/5. During your turn, whenever he banishes another character in a challenge, you gain 2 lore, the opponent loses 2 lore, and then with Fan the Flames, you can do that multiple times and just abuse that combo really rough. 4 Sergeant Tibbs. Now, I was going to argue, why not just put in Mini if you're just going for a 1-drop?
That's true. That's definitely true.
Because at least if you're not caring about challenging, then
Yeah.
You can put 4 minis in, and this opens up 2 slots for you, actually, if you drop the Tibbs for 4 mini. If you're worried about grab your swords, then
no, I like that.
That opens up some space here. Next up, Genie, evasive and bounce. 4 of Peter Pan, an evasive. 4 of Pongo with evasive. 2 of Aladdin Street Rat with the when you play him, ETB, each opponent loses 1 lore. 4 of Minnie Mouse, the 1/3 1-drop. 4 of Hot Hands Hans, just has 3 lore. He's really good. 3 of Cusco with 3 lore ward, and he's got Cheshire Cat. If he's banished in a challenge, he takes whoever is with him down. 4 of the Genie 2-drop, the 2/3. 3 of Dragonfire. 4 Fan the Flames. 2 Mother Knows Best. So 2 spells that bounce a target of your choice.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 slots open. Do you want to add a card, or do you want to increase consistency of something else here?
I would rather increase consistency. And what I'm thinking is, because we have 4 Fan the Flames, we've really committed to try and getting use out of that synergy. So I'm thinking that, despite what I said earlier, I might bump up each of the Aladdins, because I risk them getting wiped out by a grab your sword, and I could replace pretty easily.
Okay, so 3 of the Emerald, 3 of the Ruby.
Yes. And 3 of the Ruby is good, just because that's a good on-use effect if I need it for lore math.
I'm missing 2 of something in the list. So 4 Mulan, 3 Aladdin.
You're missing 2 Brave Little Tailor.
No, I got 2 Mickey Brave Little Tailor. 4 Tigger, 4 Aladdin Heroic Outlaw, 4 Genie, 4 Peter Pan, 4 Pongo, 3 Aladdin Street Rat, 4 Minnie Mouse, 4 Hans, 3 Cusco, 4 Genie, 3 Dragonfire, 4 Fan the Flames,
Mother Knows Best,
2 Be Prepared, and 2 Mother Knows Best.
There is no 2 Be Prepared.
No Be Prepared.
I think you might have missed Goofy.
Yeah, 4 Goofy.
I did miss Goofy. So no Be Prepared and 4 Goofy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mr. Goofly.
All right.
So jumping off of high places with his bodysuit.
Are there any other thoughts on this list on, like, I think the curve is really good as far as hitting drops on time.
Let's look at our curve here. All right, so we have 8 1-drops, 7 2-drops, 9 3-drops, 8 4-drops, 14 5-drops. I wonder why. And then down to 6 8 6-drops, 4 7-drops, 2 8-drops. Yeah, so the curve is pretty linear. I like that.
Yeah.
Obviously 5 is your wombo combo.
Yeah, and when you think about Fan the Flames, you're also considering 4 of those are not actually 1-drops, and like you want to play it on turn 1.
Yeah.
But
so
that's
really
even taking those 4 away.
Real
4 playables, but I'm still learning. I'm thinking more and more that, like, turn 1, it's not super important to, like, always have something to play on turn 1. It's good when you have it. It's nice, but it's not a death knell like I would have thought earlier in testing the game.
It's not, especially for this deck, because you really start kicking on turn 3.
Yeah.
Once you get those evasives online, you start to take control. So yeah, you'll be okay. Your 1-drop is definitely, your 1s and 2-drops are definitely your weakest spot.
Yeah, I think
because you have 4 and 7.
I'm looking forward to them printing something like a 2-cost 1/1 evasive or something in Ruby or Emerald. Just something that's
probably
cheaper.
Yeah, something real cheaper. All right, let's talk weaknesses. What do you feel the weakness of this deck is?
Tyler, you wanna tell me what you think the weakness is?
I mean, I'm kind of going through it. I actually really like Ruby Emerald, so I'm not seeing a tremendous amount of crazy weaknesses.
I think aggro is my biggest weekness against this.
I think overall removal is going to be you're
going to have a trouble with steel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steel is going to like eating your lunch.
Right, and taking your lunch money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to be eating your lunch right in front of you, and then they're going to make you pay for it.
Dang. Well, here's the thing. If I can play devil's advocate here, I think steel.
I mean, the devil's in the detail.
They shine with removal, but steel doesn't get like effective removal plus the ability to build a board until turn 4 or 5. So as long as I can establish threats, they're typically not going to get removed immediately by that point. And I should be winning on a lore race with them. And so I'm not too scared, but it is a problem. The lack of like immediate removal on a problem character, because bouncing Tinkerbell doesn't really help that much.
I would also say you're hilariously susceptible to New World, because if they know that you're trying to play on curve and they disrupt that, boy, your turn 5, 6, 7, 8 is just gone.
Yeah. If I'm on the play, that's
you're
pretty rough.
Yeah, especially if you have a BLT or like a lad and you're like, I'm going to shift. You thought you were going to shift.
Yeah, that'd be pretty rough.
I actually think you might have a rough matchup into some control decks, because they can just say, oh, hey, that thing there, that can't quest. Like they'll use like Jasper, the Mother Knows Best to bounce something. They'll use the Mickey Mouse, what's his name, Artful Dodger or something like that.
Yeah.
Artful Rogue. Yeah, he's playing Dungeons and Dragons right there.
Yeah.
So they'll lock out your Hans from questing. They'll lock out your Cusco from questing. They'll force something that you don't want, like your evasives. They'll force them to swing in, and then they'll have something big enough to kill them just waiting for you.
Well, I don't know if there's anything in the colors to deal with control.
Be prepared.
Unless, I don't know about control matchup. I mean,
well, because they're never going to tap Dungeons and Dragons Mickey.
Yeah.
Now your Dragonfire helps poke him.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I could see maybe lowering Fan to 3 and go into a 4th Dragonfire to try and have that.
I like that. Yeah, in that matchup, you only really have 1 or 2 major threats. It's going to be Dungeons and Dragons Mickey, and then either Jasper or Silver. Those are going to really be annoying.
The inability to quest is definitely annoying. That would be a problem.
Yeah, your whole deck is predicated on questing safely, and if you can't do that, you kind of lose the game.
Yeah.
I freaking love Jasper as a card.
He's great.
Jasper's great.
I think he's amazing.
He's hilarious. But he doesn't go into this deck.
No. I'm not looking to do that.
Yeah, Jasper and Flynn are like turns 2 and 3. Just deal with it, homie.
Mm-hmm. How about, I'm trying to think of also, because aggro is pretty scary as well.
Yeah, aggro is going to give you a hard time because they're just going to have like a Stitch Turbo aggro.
They're going to outrace
you. Can't kill them fast enough.
Yep. So maybe I do need to tech in to be prepared.
I think you want like 1 or 2 just as an uh-oh button, because if they go crazy, you kind of lose.
So how about this then? How about Mickey, my brave little Taylor.
Sorry, buddy.
Man.
I don't think Mickey Brave Little Taylor is the thing that goes.
I absolutely think that's the thing that goes.
It's just so high.
It's a good
clock,
BLT,
though.
But it's a win more card, in my opinion. If you've got the setup you want with evasive, let's see. You have
it's the Timmy inside of him that doesn't want to let it go.
I know, but let's do some math. So you have 1 lore on Peter, you have 2 lore on Pongo, so that's 3, 2 on Goofy, that's 5, 2 more on Genie, that's 7. If they can't touch you, you only need to quest twice with them and then game over.
Yeah. Let's see. So maybe we could cut 1 Cusco.
No touchy.
Because it's uninkable. I need to cut uninkables if I'm adding Be Prepared, because I'm already getting pretty high on that.
I agree.
Maybe we go, I don't want to cut Mother Knows Best. That's way too good of a tempo card with my mid-game.
I think you remove 1 Dragonfire, leaving it at 3, and then
cut that back to what I was doing, and then add 2 Be Prepared.
Yep.
That would be pretty good. So cut a Dragonfire, cut a Cusco, add 2 Be Prepared.
All right, so we've got Cusco at 2, 3 Dragonfire, 2 Be Prepared.
Yep,
that's 60.
All right, let's go to the graph. 13 non-inkables. There you go.
That's still, I think that's very doable. I think it's going to be okay. I got to hit land drops or ink drops on every turn in this deck. It's like really, really important.
Yeah, you got to hit land.
But I think with 14, I'm still, would it be probably like 95% likely to have 7 ink by turn 7. So it should be good. And I do love the ability to shift into Heroic Outlaw to sing Be Prepared if I need to, like a holy crap button.
Yeah, if everything goes like to poo-poo.
Yeah. Against the Stitch deck, that would be what I'd have to do.
Yeah, because ironically, Stitch can shift on 4 and then turn 5 go point, and then, play all these cards, and they're like, cool, shift, sing, Be Prepared, and they're like, no!
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, though, I feel like if that's the sequence and a Stitch deck is doing that while I have a Aladdin Prince Ali out, then they're playing into it. You know, I feel like having more baby Aladdins actually might be a serious like upgrade to the mind games of the deck too,
Well, you
because
just put it down because of
put it
Ward.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to respect it. They're like,
Yeah.
if
Anytime.
if they shift and they have be prepared, I just lose.
Yeah.
You got to play those mind games of does he have it? Does he got
The presence of a Prince Ali can stop their Stitch Rockstar from even questing because he can just
it?
die. So
It was nice knowing you, homie.
yeah,
Donk.
I really like this. This is looking good.
All right. Do we have any other thoughts? I don't see a lot of problems. I really did think not having Be Prepared was very dangerous because there's a lot of matchups you just auto lose without
you
that
gotta
card.
be prepared. I mean,
oh my gosh, this joke is never going to go away.
No,
ever.
sure isn't.
yep.
I would say the only thing that I'm a little fudgy on is Hans.
You don't like Hans.
I know you like him.
Why are you trying to kick him off the building, man?
I feel like you could drop him to 3 and bring Mother Knows Best up to 3.
That's pretty valid.
Because I don't think
that.
2 of Mother Knows Best is consistent enough to warrant that card. If you want to bounce things, you want to see this card as early as possible. And at 2 of,
yeah, I got you.
I'm not feeling that.
Yeah, and the 4-drop slot is it's not like dropping 1 would be massive. I'd go from 8 to 7.
No, because really what you want is Pongo. You don't want Hans.
Yeah, true.
Hans is just there kind of for an emergency. But
Hans to me is removal bait. That's what I see him as.
Yeah, that's fair. But if you're doing the evasive strat, you want Pongo turn 4.
Yeah.
Because he's also a removal bait.
Yeah, I could see that. Okay. Well, I will drop
I honestly
Hans.
think you could just drop Hans completely for some other tool, in my opinion.
Okay, for now, I'm going to drop 1 Hans, put 1 Mother Knows Best, but let's relook at this list. Hopefully the last 50 cards help us fill us out, because people who listen in the future...
Yeah, there's definitely some more cards in the future we're unaware of at the moment that'll change. So here's the control player in me that wants to make an argument. Hans isn't actually really doing anything in that 4-drop slot, because you really, 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 really want Pongo, or you really, really, really want to set up like an Aladdin Prince Ali and something else so that your opponent has to go, do they really have the 5-drop? If you want to be real nasty, you could do like double Prince Ali and just go, hey, can you kill him? No, you can't.
Yeah.
My replacement
then they grab
thought,
the sword.
well, you could also,
answer.
that's problematic. So you could drop the 3 Haunts for 1 more Mother Knows Best.
Inkable.
Jasper late game. If you face off against, oh my gosh, another BLT and they're playing like Sapphire Ramp, you just play Jasper and go, hey, you don't get to play the game, homie.
So it's kind of like I would be foregoing a removal bait for basically a tech card that helps. Okay.
So you were talking about having problems reestablishing against aggro.
Yeah.
So if you play Be Prepared and somehow they just get the nuts off and you're behind and you don't have Be Prepared, you at least have the opportunity to use a Jasper to slow the game down to maybe get another turn.
I don't hate Jasper just because for 3 ink, it's a decently easy thing to weave in to my turn that could stop power cards in the current set that we know, like your Moanas, like your Maurices, like the strategies that rely on questing, like even John Silver, I could stop like an opposing John Silver from doing its thing. I don't want to lean too heavy into control, but I could, like I said at the beginning, like tech cards can be the fill-in, but a very minor part in the deck. I can totally see that too. If I look at the graph, I'm a little high on 3 costs, but I want to hit Pongo, and I definitely would be wanting to weave in those Prince Alis on turn 4 as well, or any Aladdin on turn 4. So it's so any Aladdin play technically could be a turn 4 play, so it's not like I'm wasting time.
Right.
By not playing. I agree. Okay, so let's
I'm
cut 3.
just thinking for like moments where you're just looking down. Like there's so many times in our testing in the games we played where you're staring down the barrel of a gun. It's like, if I could just stop that, I could win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Jasper is the answer to that problem where it's like, if I could just stop this right now, and then you play the Jasper and go, I can stop that right now.
Yeah. I want to put 3 of them in.
He's right outside of removal too.
Yeah. I'm going to put 3 in to get it up to 60 with 3 Mother's Knows Best, just because I don't really want to go to 4 Mother Knows Best out of the uninkable situation at 14.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just having him available, so you could ink 2 of them or sit on one, and the moment the opponent, like you can sense your opponent's like they're about to play something really gnarly. Cool. Drop the Jasper. You can't quest.
I did just notice a flavor miss with Jasper.
Uh-oh.
He says common crook, but he's an uncommon.
How dare they?
Dang.
Here, I'll get you a Sharpie. You can just add un to the
you and that Sharpie. You can't write the rules, my boy.
Sharpies make card games way more fun.
Yeah.
Just write Elsa on everything. On a triggers, on land drops. On the back of your cards, write Elsa. Okay. I love the deck. I know time is short and you got to get out of here. So what are we going to name this thing?
Okay, got to be something floaty. Oh, we all float here.
Okay, what's this about?
Because the deck is scary like it, and he always says, we all float down here, Georgie. That's his quote.
This is a children's game, my friend.
We all float down here.
And I'm trying to do scary things.
Children are not going to know this reference and then explaining it. They're like, Mom, what's it? Oh, no. Don't listen to those Ready, Set, Draw guys anymore.
Okay. Okay, we'll do a different float reference, and we'll call ourselves the deck the Modest Mouse, the Modest Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
Modest Mickey Mouse.
All right, the Modest Mouse. Get that BLT online and punch him. Okay. Save deck. Boink. Okay, I'm down. Yeah, we all float on. Okay. Okay. All right.
I'll go for that.
That's it. We are done. That was a lot of fun. You can definitely check out these on Lorcana. They're going to be in the show notes. Tell us where our listeners can find Ready, Set, Draw.
We are on YouTube at ReadySetDrawTCG, and we highly encourage everyone who is on Twitter as well to join us at ReadySetDrawTCG, because we are on Twitter all the time, speaking to fans, speaking to people, other content creators, bouncing ideas. And we're answering every YouTube comment we can just to engage with the community and see what y'all's thoughts are, because we're super excited for the game. You can hear our podcast, Ready Set Live, on YouTube and on Spotify as well. Just search our channel name and you'll find it. And I think that's it. So, yeah.
Are you guys ready for Gen Con? Because I think we're gonna be like a couple days away. By the time this goes live, Gen Con's gonna be like 3 days out. It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be great.
All right. Well, that's it. That's the show. We will see everyone at Gen Con. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see y'all next time.